following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. It's Reaction Monday on Main Street Sports Today. Welcome into the program today. New coach at Columbia Central will tell you all about it. Plus, the Pro Bowl, the All-Star Game, Super Bowl week, all of that coming up. Stay with us here, Main Street Sports Today. Now to the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton. Here's the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
Welcome in. It is Reaction Monday, and boy, has it been a crazy day already or what? I mean, my goodness, what a Monday it has been. We're going to react to a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, but we're going to react to something that happened about, what? I guess technically it was announced about 45 minutes ago, but we're going to get into it. It's Hall of Fame coach is on the move. Headed to Southern Middle Tennessee from Southern Middle Tennessee. He's just moving a little bit east, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
East.
East.
It's going to be a lot of fun to get into. And we've got a lot of high school stuff to talk about, especially I don't know, maybe we need to get JP that picture so he can throw it up, because picture of the year in high school sports, maybe in all sports, Mo, it's pretty cool. So we'll talk about the high school state wrestling duels, and I think it's one of the best photos I've ever seen at the high school level. So we may get a chance to throw that up on the screen for you. We'll talk about high school basketball,
which does those that are listening a whole lot of good.
Well, if you're on the podcast, you can go back and find it. We'll link it. But if you are watching, as you know, you should be, because this show's way better when you can see us, right? Okay, maybe not.
Speak
What is
for
it?
yourself.
There you go. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And Auburn's situation, after we talked to Tobias Wilburn on Friday, hasn't gotten any better. So we'll get it.
Did you think it was going to?
I thought we might have a resolution by now, but no. Harson's like,
She's still on vacation.
He is. He did not come back, and I don't blame him. That may be the best part about this.
Hey, you can fire me from here.
It's on Kings of Comedy, right? You know I was fired on Friday. Why you just call me when I was at the house?
Hey, you can do it over the phone. Trust me. I know.
You can do it over the phone. That's right. Me and you both know
been
that.
there, done that. Yeah.
We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it and give you some results from the weekend. And today's, I guess it's a pretty short schedule, high school wise. I actually see what else we got. We got a couple other things going on today, so we'll get to those. But yeah, let's give you the weekend results. Today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the Rundown.
Let's do it.
The Monday Rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy, providing a Christ-centered college prep education at an affordable cost. Call 931-388-5731 or visit zioneagles.org to schedule an appointment for a tour today.
High school boys basketball action from Friday night. Franklin Christian defeated Zion Christian 52-35. It was Marshall County 69, Spring Hill 52 twice. Tullahoma with a 56-47 win over Lawrence County. Richland defeated Hampshire 70-58, and Loretto with a 79-55 win over visiting Giles County.
Summertown down to Mount Pleasant 63-35. Columbia Central got rebounded off that first district loss to defeat Summit 75-57. On Saturday, it was Zion Christian getting the best of FC Boyd 62-21. Collin went down Culleoka 70-67, and Richland a little revenge as well, 63-51 over Santa Fe.
In girls action on Friday night, Franklin Christian defeated Zion Christian 60-35. Marshall County with a 31-30 contentious victory over Spring Hill. It was Tullahoma 53, Lawrence County 42, Richland with a 62-44 win over Hampshire, and Loretto 74, Giles County 30.
Summertown down Mount Pleasant 71-18. It was Columbia Central 42, Summit 32. Ravenwood defeated Independence 63-30. It was FC Boyd on Saturday down in Zion Christian 56-20. Collinwood a 65-44 win over Culleoka, and Richland 62-41 over Santa Fe.
In junior college basketball action on Saturday, Columbia State's men shorthanded Chargers picking up a 60-46 win at Chattanooga State. In women's action, the Lady Chargers fell 74-66 to the Chat Cats. NCAA men's basketball action over the weekend. Morehead State with a 77-52 win over Austin Peay. Tennessee State 69, UT Martin 61. Belmont with a comeback victory up in Cookeville, 100-92 in overtime over Tennessee Tech. In the SEC, Tennessee, number 22 Tennessee with an 81-57 win over South Carolina. Vanderbilt smacks LSU 75-66 over the number 25 Tigers as they retired Shane Foster's number. They weren't going to lose that day.
Nope. Zero chance they were losing.
And the Blazers of Alabama Birmingham 97, MTSU 75.
In women's action, Austin Peay down Morehead State 71-61. UT Martin 55, Tennessee State 46. Belmont a 58-49 winner over Tech, Tennessee Tech that is. MTSU women get the win over the Blazers 75-55. It was Alabama a 77-71 winner over Vanderbilt in overtime, and number 10 Connecticut exactly what I was afraid of. 75-56 over to the number 7 Vols, Lady Vols. And in NBA action, the Grizzlies a 20-point winner over the Magic, 135-115.
Short schedule tonight in high school basketball action. Hampshire travels to Frank Hughes. Zion Christian hosts Riverside Christian, and Santa Fe hosts Wayne County.
In men's basketball action in the NCAA, Texas San Antonio is at MTSU tonight. It's a 6 o'clock start. Belmont is traveling to UT Martin women. That's a 6 o'clock start as well on ESPN Plus. And Belmont's men will be hosting Austin Peay at 6:30 on ESPN Plus. And that's I think that's all we got. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
All right. We would normally have a top story here, but we should probably just push it off to the next segment because we're going to need some more time to talk about the Hall of Famer moving to Columbia. So Columbia Central hired a new football coach. Tell you who it is on the other side of the break. This is Main Street Sports Today. Stick around. We'll be right back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass
Welcome back. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We are live from the Lee Company studio. Glad to have you with us here on Reaction Monday. We've got a lot to react to, including some breaking news broken by the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton. I guess now with Gary Rankin out, this coach is number 3 on the active list.
Well, I don't know. I've not checked. I don't know if he's number 3 now or if he was number 3 before Rankin and is now number 2. I don't know.
Well, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the answer to that either.
Mm-hmm.
Is Joe Gaddis still coaching?
Joe Gaddis has retired as well.
He may be number 2 then. Heck, he may be number 1. I don't know who else is number.
I don't know.
As I'm looking here, I believe, unless Meskey
is still coaching. He is at Knoxville Webb.
Well, then there you go. David Meskey is number 1. Bobby Sharp
is number 2.
Is number 2.
So he is the second winningest active coach.
Correct.
In Tennessee.
And
that's a feather in your hat. And I don't know how many Meskey won this year, but he came into the year with 278 victories. I don't know what Knoxville.
Unless he went winless.
Don't believe he did.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but still, I mean, that's big time for Columbia Central. I mean, that's a heck of a hire. As I was saying earlier today, Bobby Sharp didn't have anything to prove. He's a Hall of Fame coach, literally 2017 inductee into the Tennessee Football Coaches Association's Hall of Fame.
7-3 was Knoxville Webb.
7-3 was Knoxville Webb. Okay. So he's 5 wins up on Sharp then at this point.
And Sharp's coming.
We coming, as Coach O would say. I think just the idea of bringing some stability, as I mentioned somewhere, this is Columbia Central's 3rd football coach in less than 12 months.
In 8 months.
Yep. Yeah. I guess I was being nice.
If that, I guess.
Yeah. From July 1st to now, they've had 3 football coaches.
And yeah, obviously John Moore was the interim coach and applied for the job. But, when you have a guy like Bobby Sharp, who runs the same offense you ran last year, all right, there's a little continuity there, at least a little bit, mm-hmm. Right? From my understanding, my sources say that John Moore's staying on as the offensive coordinator, so more continuity. And you can't not hire a Hall of Famer. You can't not hire the second winningest active coach in Tennessee football. If he walks through your door, you got to hire him, right?
Personally, I don't know if it's that cut and dried. Really? I mean, I think that's probably as much as anything, I think that's the school of thought that Kevin Edey was faced with. But I don't know that this is a drop dead cinch, man. I mean, I think that there are some aspects of this situation that I'm not convinced that this is the perfect hire. It's a good hire. I don't know if it's a great hire. And that's not, disrespecting anybody. I just feel like, I mean, again, Bobby Sharp has won 280 games in 34 seasons. He's not a young guy.
There's that.
I mean, you could be doing this again in 5 years. And is that what you want?
Let me ask you this. Maybe that is the school of thought. Maybe the school of thought was, I like what we saw from John Moore. Bobby Sharp gives us an extra wing T mind. And in 5 years, maybe John Moore's the guy again.
John Moore's not a young guy either.
He's not. A little younger, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing out the thought process that I'm just kind of working through this on the air.
And we're working through it on the air because we don't have anything else to go on, because we've not been able to talk to Kevin Edey about this. We've not talked to Bobby Sharp about this. We've got no insight on this other than what we've been able to see, because, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's talking to us.
We may have Bobby Sharp on the air tomorrow, hopefully. If we do, you get to hear us talk to him for the first time yourself. So that's going to be interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is I think it's obvious, or it was obvious to me that the wing tee was the better option for you last year.
It was the
Columbia
better
Central
option for the personnel that they had, because they had so much talent in the backfield that getting all those guys on the field at the same time, the wing tee was really the only way to go.
And their quarterback was young, inexperienced.
Young. Say that again.
Inexperienced.
Okay.
Correct.
As opposed to young and experienced.
Correct.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure
Young,
that we got
inexperienced.
I just wanted to get that enunciation out there. Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's going to be a junior next year. He looked pretty good by the end of the year. He had an ability to sit in the pocket and find some guys.
And he had a little bit more confidence after having started for an entire year.
I think, and we've seen Bobby's offense kind of lean passing.
We've seen Bobby's offense, but we've also seen Kevin Creasy's offense.
That's right.
Which is the wing tee on steroids, and Creasy is a Sharp disciple.
And if you
play for him, in fact,
if you've got a quarterback at Columbia Central this next year who you feel comfortable with, could you see an offense like that? Absolutely. Jordan Davis still on the outside, and
Caden
McCoy's in the backfield. And then you're talking about, potentially, Jace Hoth at tight end, who was phenomenal for that team.
I'm going to tell you a receiver on this team who, if he hadn't gotten hurt early this past season, was ready for a breakout and is going to break out this year. Quan Pete, number 11.
Yeah, Quandries Pete was really, really good and got hurt early.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is going to be a unique situation for Bobby. It's going to be a unique situation for these kids having their third coach. At least there will be a little consistency from John moving over as offensive coordinator. But I'm interested to see how it works out.
I'm interested to see what this coaching staff is going to look like, because your sources tell you that John Moore is staying. I don't know that that's necessarily the case either. But,
see?
We'll see.
It could be anything.
I can
Thursday night we'll find out, I guess.
Well, hopefully. But I mean, I could see a scenario where the former interim coach says, just throws up his hands and says, yeah.
I went to the second round of the playoffs. I almost beat the state runner-up.
Yeah.
What more did I need to do? What more did I need to do?
Something, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, we do want to talk about, just want to mention this real quick. Seth Anderson was named head coach at Columbia Academy on Friday. That was also broken by the Sports Writer of the Year and Hall of Famer Mo Patton. If you're looking for sports news in and around Southern Middle Tennessee, you're not going to find it anywhere quicker or more accurate, timely, most comprehensive than you will at MainStreetMurray.com and Main Street Preps. It's just, that's the facts.
if it's not a fact, it's not from a lack of trying.
Right.
Seth Anderson coached softball for the past 5 years at Columbia Academy. He's been on the football coaching staff for the past 11 years, 2005 graduate. Again, he's won 2 state championships on the softball side, and he is moving up from DC to the top spot, and looking forward to seeing what he can do. I think he brings a lot of energy. I think the kids really like him.
I agree.
And I think both of those are going to mean a lot.
I'm excited to see Columbia Academy and what they're able to put on the field next year, no doubt, with Seth Anderson and as well Bobby and Columbia Central. When we come back, more high school talk, because we have the wrestling duels. We got the AP Top 10 polls that have come out today in basketball, both men, boys and girls. So we'll get to all of that on the other side of the break. You guys stick around. Main Street Sports Today returns to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mo, The wrestling guy. I'm glad you're the wrestling guy.
I don't know that I am the wrestling guy.
I don't know who else might be.
Well,
Witness National.
That's the problem.
Nobody else is doing a podcast about wrestling.
Right.
First takedown, by the way, Fridays. They drop.
There it is.
Lovey Smith has been hired by the Texans.
All right.
Don't say it.
I know. I told you last week. Don't be the last one. Don't be the last one to hire a coach. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Witness some national history. Oh,
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I didn't really grasp it myself that the girls wrestling state duels that were taking place on Saturday up at the Williamson County Ag Expo, Tennessee is the first state to sanction high school girls wrestling duels. And so with Rossview winning that, they became the first high school in the country to win a girls wrestling duels state championship. Now, there are a number of schools that sanction individual championships, but not a team championship. So that's a pretty big deal. And Tennessee has carried the banner. They were one of the first 5 states in the country to sanction girls individual wrestling championships. And now they're the first to sanction a team championship. And it's a big deal, I think. And I think the governing body, the TSSAA, really takes it seriously. I think, from after being one of the last to sanction full court girls basketball, when Pat Summitt basically told them, if y'all don't stop playing half court, I'm going to stop recruiting in state. But since then, Tennessee has really kind of been on the forefront of equity and that kind of thing in terms of girls sports. And this is just another step in that direction. And interesting article, I think, or some interesting comments in the article that we've got up on Main Street Preps. Mark Reeves, assistant executive director in charge of wrestling, considered the sanctioning of girls duels a no-brainer. So, and this is a great quote as a former wrestling coach. First and foremost, the team element of wrestling is one of the greatest aspects of the sport. And you can see that as you watch a duels competition take place and evolve.
Well, you have your team on your bench, whereas in individual, that's not necessarily the case in the state tournament.
It's not the case, period. But just all of the strategy that goes into it, bumping around in weight classes and trying to create favorable matchups and that kind of thing, rooting for your teammates, picking up your teammate. One of the keys to this match between Rossview and Clarksville was when Rossview's only state placer from last year individually got pinned 3 matches in. And Rossview's coach, Tex Price, said, for her teammates to come back and make her feel like it wasn't on her, was huge. And for them to get back-to-back pins to close that thing out after trailing late, that's just an aspect, like Coach Reeves was saying, that you just don't get otherwise. So
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. I'm not sure some people realize how big a deal it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Boys side,
tough day for local schools on the boys side. Summit finishing 4th, lost their opener to Bradley Central, lost in the consolation finals to Wilson Central. Fairview, the defending state champion in Division I small class, lost in the consolation finals as well to finish fourth. Page went 2 and out. Nolensville in AA lost in the consolation semifinals. So, we didn't have any area teams that was in the finals. Well, Father Ryan Russell Baylor
That's right.
in the Division II large class finals, they lost as well. So tough locally.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland and Bradley Central wrestle for the big school state title. Go figure.
Yeah, that never happens.
Exactly.
Cleveland winning its 5th straight state championship. No one's ever done it before. Hats off to the Blue Raiders.
Pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Real quick, let's move into AP top 10 stuff. Beach still undefeated.
Still number 1.
Morristown East drops to number 3 because they lost to Class 3A, number 3 Greenville. So, you drop from 2 to 3 because obviously Bartlett's there, but a loss to Greenville, not anything to shake your head at.
Yeah.
And Beach had to, I'm not going to say a struggle win, but they had to get after it at Gallatin to get the win over the weekend. So, Beach again, still undefeated. Lebanon still in the mix in 4A. Columbia got enough votes, Mo, even after losing. they lost, and
that's where it is. They lost, and all of a sudden
they get some votes. Go figure, right?
Wow. In Class 1A, Santa Fe, despite splitting 2 matches with Richland, only fell 2 spots from 4 to 6.
And one of their 4 losses, East Robertson got
votes.
19 votes. I can't believe Richland's not ranked. This blows my mind. I would just like to throw that out there.
Yeah.
They were in the state they were in the state tournament last year in Murfreesboro, and they've not done anything not to be ranked.
No.
So
no.
Whatever.
On the girls' side, Cookville still unbeaten and number 1 in 4A. Page 23-1 is number 1 in 3A. Loretto is undefeated, number 1 in 2A. And those are about the highlights locally.
Well, there you go. Let's take a break. Get to halftime. Take a halftime, talk about Auburn. We'll talk NASCAR on the other side and maybe some Major League Baseball as well. See what all we can get into on the second half. But right now, it is time to take our halftime break on Main Street Sports Today. Y'all stick around after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Welcome back in. Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl was this weekend. I didn't watch any of it. I was busy.
Sorting your sock drawer, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. But I did see some highlights of it. I did see that the AFC won again. So Mike Vrabel with the big win in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to put that on his resume.
Hope he doesn't need a resume anytime soon. Couple of Titans got some positives. I believe Kevin Byard had a pick. You said Jeffrey Simmons had a pass breakup.
Yeah,
Come on.
dropping back. Whatever I saw on the local sports coverage last night. But apparently the AFC ran a flea flicker, and there was some question as to where that ingenuity was over the course of the season for the Titans with Todd Downing as OC. So.
There you go. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Kyler Murray has deleted all references to the Cardinals on his Instagram.
I've not seen that.
He has unfollowed the Cardinals on Instagram and deleted every mention of them on the social media website. Is Kyler Murray going to go play for the Oakland A's? Is that what this means?
When they come out of the lockout.
Bruno Reagan says, well, he must have bought a house in Nashville. Well done. Well done, Bruno. Well done.
I sent y'all the Jim Wyatt mailbag response to Aaron Rodgers.
Anyway,
we're
don't watch the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, we're being given the get off the air sign, so we'll just leave that at that.
We will, in fact. Let's talk about Auburn and the mess that continues to be Brian Harsin in the second half. Y'all come back on Main Street Sports Today. We'll be right back after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner. The look of a winner.
It's time of the second half, Main Street Sports Today on this Reaction Monday. Auburn, still shaking our heads with their football program. Heather Williams will join us coming up talking the Bush Clash. Ice Cube performed, by the way, at the Coliseum. That was pretty cool. That and more. Stay with us here on Main Street Sports Today. Now, back to the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year. Breaking stories left and right like it's his job. Oh, wait. Yes. The Hall of Famer Mo Patton, and the Sundrop kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
It's a West Coast thing. You know how we do it? That was awesome, by the way.
That was the sight of Ice Cube performing, and then all the NASCAR fans in L.A. when they did the crowd shots throughout. It was interesting. It was interesting.
You know, I did not watch, but it sounds like everything that Ty spoke to when we had him on. Ty Norris. I wanted to say Morris, but I knew that wasn't right. But yeah, Ty Norris with Trackhouse Racing, when we had him on last week to talk about it, it sounds like, some of the comments that he made regarding the attention it would draw kind of came to fruition along those lines. I did not realize Ice Cube was going to be performing though.
So they like us had a halftime. So 75 laps into this 150 lap race, they stop the race and Ice Cube performs, and I just need you to see the crowd shots of just
That was the best part.
it's so funny just to watch, people just kind of doing this.
White man upper bite,
Oh yeah,
bobbing the head.
It was
Oh.
100%.
Yep.
They must have showed Hitch right before the concert to make sure everybody
Yep.
knew
You keep it
where
right
to
here.
stay. This is your home. This is where you live. It was pretty much that. It was hilarious.
Got to know your limitations, man.
Know your limit, but it was really cool to watch it. And the stadium was about half full, which I feel like is positive in LA.
Yeah. I mean, that's
considering-
about as good as it gets in LA, isn't it? Half full.
Well, that, and I mean, it's NASCAR in LA.
Right.
What are you gonna do? So Pitbull did his thing as well. It was pretty interesting. So I'm excited to talk to Heather about it and see what her reaction was to it. But I'm looking forward to it. What I am really looking forward to though is, let me just bring up
What is the latest?
Trey's. Well, heck, dude, the latest on Auburn could be anything. I mean, it's an absolute just madhouse. Okay. And a statement via Trey Wallace _ on Twitter, Auburn University released a statement on the Brian Harsin situation that says, the Auburn administration is judiciously collecting information from a variety of perspectives, including our student athletes, and moving swiftly to understand any issues in accordance with university policies and procedures. Decisions regarding the future of Auburn and its athletic programs, as always, are made in the interest of our great university and in fairness to all concerned. Yeah, tell that to Tommy Tuberville. We do not make institutional decisions based on social media posts or media headlines. Again, tell that to Tommy Tuberville.
That's senator to you.
So, I mean, look, this is Auburn basically saying we're trying to find anything we can to get rid of him, because at this point it's better to just be done with it than try to keep him.
And with that, Barrett Sallee at Barrett Sallee 5 hours ago. Imagine Brian Harsin getting fired and knowing his buyout is coming while sitting at a swim-up bar at a Sandals.
That's right. Because why not? I mean, look.
Hey, what did Nolan Richardson say? They give me my money, they can fire me today.
I mean, pay me my money.
I'm good.
I'm not saying that the Auburn situation is a good situation. Look, yes, he's lost 3 coordinators in 6 months. Okay. I get that there are problems within this organization, but the biggest problem is Brian Harsin is not controllable by the board or by the boosters. The fact is that Mr. Green went and got a guy who could not be controlled by Auburn boosters because he's not part of the family.
Somebody tweeted, if Brian Harsin is fired, it won't be because of an affair. It will be because he made enough people mad in and around that program for this alleged affair to be drugged through the streets. It's kind of shades of Pruitt.
Oh, this is 100% just like Jeremy Pruitt, except that Pruitt did actually do something wrong. I'm not convinced that Brian Harsin did. I think it's a convenient story. Oh, well, I mean, look at this attractive 24-year-old who followed him from Boise, Idaho. Why else would she do that? Well, maybe because Auburn, Alabama is a lot nicer than Boise, Idaho, folks. Anybody think about that?
Well, what's funny is, I mean, if that's the case, why is it just now
Sure.
becoming a big deal? And maybe I'll just answer my own question.
I mean, we know why it's a big deal now.
Right.
And that's it's unfortunate because this poor girl is being dragged through a situation that she likely does not deserve to be dragged through. I mean, family, Harson's wife has said this is absolutely not possible. It's just not possible. And let me tell you, if it's possible, she knows it's possible. And so the fact here is Brian Harsin is going to end up with $18 million, and Auburn is going to be in a world of hurt. Because the boosters wanted Kevin Steele. And Auburn's fan base kind of went Vol Nation on them and said, "You're nuts." Absolutely not. But they only wanted Kevin Steele because they could control Kevin Steele.
It's a different ball game down there.
There are some high school programs, Mo, that we cover, maybe not cover specifically, but have seen situations like this. And it's not unusual to see these type things happen, especially at a place like Auburn, because there is so much family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not part of the Auburn family, then you kind of,
If you ain't with us, you're against us.
yeah, you're out of the shrine type thing. And I'm afraid that if Auburn goes through with this, they're going to be what Tennessee was for the last decade. And it will be the next decade.
Yeah, I mean, this is the dysfunction that this indicates and illustrates. It's tough to overcome. It's tough to come back from, because who wants to be involved with it? And if Harsin has done nothing wrong, then, you know, it's going to be a tough sell to bring a established, credible coach into the
Well,
middle
we
of
all
this.
know who they're going after, and he's not credible.
But how do you, I mean, if Alan Green didn't hire Kevin Steele once, you know, what makes, why is he going to hire him this time?
Oh, I don't think we're talking about Kevin Steele. You already know who's going to Auburn, baby.
The guy that I pointed out 4
The
months ago, you
freeze.
mean? We'll see.
No.
I-
I don't think that's the case either. I think you're right. I don't know who takes the job. And why would you?
Yeah.
Let's talk NASCAR. Auburn's a mess.
Yeah.
Heather Williams joins us on the other side of the break. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org, or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We are live from the Lee Company studio. Find us on Twitter at ms_sports today as we get ready to react to some of the weekend's most unique situations. And I'm looking forward to this one, JP, because get a chance to talk to WCYB's Heather Williams. Heather, welcome in. What's going on?
Hey, how are you today?
I am doing phenomenal. Got a chance to watch one of the most unique and wild NASCAR events of the last couple of decades over the weekend. I'm sure you took some time to take in the clash at the Coliseum, the Busch Light Clash, if you will. What is your initial reaction to the idea and the spectacle or the event that NASCAR held on Sunday?
So when they first made the announcement, I thought NASCAR was crazy, just like everybody else. I mean, those huge stop cars in that little quarter-mile track, I thought there's no way that this is going to be compelling racing. But it was. I think that it was a good show. It was entertaining. I think there's still a few little kinks that need to be worked out, like whoever was up front checked out, and it was really hard to pass them, except for on restarts, which is a little bit of a problem because obviously passes are fun. Passes to the lead are more fun. So that little kink aside, I mean, I thought it was fantastic that the last chance races, especially the second one, and just the drama, watching big name drivers miss out in Brad Keselowski and Kurt Busch, and guys that you never expected to be battling up at the lead, doing so in Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon. I just thought overall it was really entertaining. Plus, the event had a concert from both Pitbull and Ice Cube. I think that's pretty good.
I thought that was unique, and I think that's the whole point of this was let's take NASCAR and completely flipped the script, right? We need more eyes, and this will get us more eyeballs. And I think it worked really well. The only thing that I didn't like, the Grand Marshal intros were all screwed up. But other than that, everything was good.
Well, I think what you're seeing is, I think NASCAR is I think they've understood this for a while. They just haven't been able to figure out how to make it work. But I think they're understanding that there are lots of people that are NASCAR fans. And I think recently with the entrance of Pitbull and Michael Jordan and Emmitt Smith as owners, it's made them realize that they're really going to have to, well, not have to, but really need to make an effort to appeal to all race fans. Should the LA Coliseum thing be a weekly thing? No, probably not. But, it appeals to a different group of fans who are NASCAR fans too.
Oh, there's no question there. And I was excited about it. Again, I watched both, most of the day. And that second last chance qualifier was, talk about compelling
Bonkers.
racing. That was insanity. And I really enjoyed that. That was what we expected was, that was what I expected the entire day to be. Not all of it was, but that was a really good race. And it was a lot of fun watching those teams really work hard to try and get into the feature, and well done to everybody involved. I thought Justin Haley was one of the shining aspects of the day for a rookie. And then the way his day finished was unfortunate. Of course, Kyle Larson retaliating for maybe something that wasn't necessarily Justin's fault, but it really showed that the new era of NASCAR is here, from entertainment to drivers.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting, you mentioned Justin Haley, is the whole way that college racing has gone about doing this. I mean, they've been very successful on the Xfinity Series level, and they're just kind of step by step, making sure they can win, making sure they can be competitive every step of the way. And really, it's a blueprint to me on how you build a team, because they've just taken, one driver, then they went to three drivers, and they went to, dipping their toe last year in NASCAR and the Cup Series. And I mean, people may remember, they may not, that their Cup Series 4A last year ended in the win, AJ Allmendinger winning at Indianapolis. So, I mean, they're very much have the blueprint to be a successful team right off the bat in the Cup Series. And they've got a good driver.
Anything? Mo was like...
I was just so fascinated. Unfortunately, I got busy doing some other stuff. Didn't get a chance to really watch the Clash, but just the idea of holding a race inside of a non-racing facility was really fascinating to me. And again, unfortunately got distracted by some other stuff and didn't get to watch. But
well, I think what it does is it proves it can be done, right? Now they can go, if they want to, they could probably go anywhere, right? They want to have a race in Portland. Like, they've been dying to get into the Northwest market forever. Well, you don't have to necessarily build a track, right? They can go maybe work out an agreement with the University of Oregon and build a track at their football stadium and run a one-off race there, right? I mean, they just prove that you don't have to have a specific race-built facility to hold a race, and I mean, that's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, and I think, like you said, that may be the biggest thing that came out of this is NASCAR realizing that it can be done, and taking that knowledge and putting it to use elsewhere to expand.
Well, I think one of the things that they've discovered, as times have changed and people's spending have changed, especially post-pandemic, is that people are not necessarily willing to travel all over the country like gypsies to watch NASCAR, especially when they can watch it on their couch. So getting the sport closer to all sorts of different people exposes it to different fans.
Heather Williams, WCYB TV in Bristol, Virginia / Tennessee, joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Heather, what does this mean for the diversification of NASCAR. It is, the fact is I've got friends and family who are old school NASCAR fans who just don't like it because it's not the NASCAR they grew up with. What does this mean for NASCAR going forward? Are they going to be able to replace those type fans, or are those fans going to stick around kind of like those who are not watching the NFL anymore?
A little bit of both. I mean, I think what you're seeing right now is people say that, but NASCAR is actually, I think, doing a really good job of balancing it too, because they're not only trying these new things, right, where they're going to the Coliseum and they're trying to reach a more diverse audience and doing those kinds of things, bringing in pit bulls and owner in as a entertainer, but they're also going back to their roots. I mean, there's very much right now momentum and progress being done in restoring old tracks. You guys are in the Nashville area. You know what's going on with the fairgrounds and the effort to bring that back and bring NASCAR back to that track, that historic track. The same thing's going on at Rockingham. There's a huge project to get that.
Oh, that gives me chills.
Rebuilt. Yeah. So I mean, there's at North Carolina Speedway, and there was like 3 or 4 old tracks in a bill that passed North Carolina to revitalize old tracks there, right? So I think what you're going to see is them try to do both, right? Because it is a balance. You know, there's the old school fans who love the history, and there's also the newer fans. But you can be both, right? I mean, I consider myself to be both. I mean, I love the historic tracks and the history and all of that, but I also enjoy seeing them try something new and bringing in new fans. And so I think that's the balance they're trying to strike. We'll see how it turns out and how the fans react.
I too am one of those. Matter of fact, I left NASCAR probably mid to late 90s and just didn't watch anymore until probably 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, to me, that's what has brought me back. You know, I think there are a lot of people like me out there who thought NASCAR kind of got away from its roots between the late 90s and the mid 2000s. Of course, you know, we can say what we want to about Brian France Jr., but I think he helped, and he's helped me, come back to the sport. And now with all of the new things, I'm excited. I think the next gen car was certainly on display on Sunday. I'm not sure. I'll be excited to see what that looks like in the super speedways and that sort of thing. So this is the second new car in this millennium. I think, when did the last one come out, Heather? What, 2008, something like that? When the Car of Tomorrow came out?
The Gen 6 car, which was the iteration that we had last season.
Right.
That was around 2000 and early teens or 2008, somewhere around in there.
Gotcha.
Somewhere around in there. The Car of Tomorrow came out in 2003 or 4, somewhere around in there. And then this generation, the Gen 6 car, came out in somewhere between 8 and 12. My memory's a little bit fuzzy, but somewhere in there. I think a name that you're going to want to get to know, and a lot of the driving force behind this kind of new NASCAR, is a guy named Ben Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
That's Lisa France Kennedy's son, and he's a former driver himself, and he's now moving up the ranks in NASCAR. By everyone's account, he's the heir apparent to eventually become the president of NASCAR. He's, I think, just turned 30, somewhere around in that range, so he's really young. And I have a friend that worked with him when he was a driver as crew chief. Says he's a smart kid, understands sport, understands what drivers need, understands what promoters need, and he's really been the driving force behind a lot of this stuff that you've seen in the last year or two. These cool experiments, these different things that they're trying, and I think he's going to be the guy that either brings NASCAR back to its glory day or completely screws it up. I mean, I think he's going to bring it back to its glory days. Every indication shows it that way. I don't think he's going to be another Brian France, but you never know. But he's the guy really behind all this stuff that you're seeing today.
That's awesome.
Hey, Heather, we talked about some of the folks who have made their names in other avenues that are involved with NASCAR. Over the last couple of years, we saw Alvin Kamara really get into the sport, and obviously he had an interesting weekend for other reasons. But what do you see his impact being at this point, or is his impact still being felt in NASCAR?
It is, but I think it's not just him. It's the broader aspect of there's a lot of people like him that are doing stuff. It's not just him.
Mm-hmm.
So, he had an agreement to do some stuff with NASCAR last year, and he did some stuff early, but then once football season starts, he's busy and didn't really do a lot in the second half of the season. And I don't know how what happened yesterday would affect all of that. But, he's not the only football player that's really involved. If you are familiar with I Am Athlete podcast, there's actually an I Am NASCAR podcast with those guys. There they do just a NASCAR-centric version of their podcast. And then I mentioned Emmett Smith has now got a team this year as well. So I think just the overall crossover of different athletes from different sports is, and Alvin is definitely included in that, has helped grow this to a new audience.
Well, the new audience is going to be huge for NASCAR. We're looking forward to it. And like you said, looking forward to getting NASCAR back in downtown Nashville. Hopefully soon from your friends up in the Bristol area, hopefully. Heather Williams.
Yeah, the track is involved in that. And I think you've seen the drawings. It's going to be amazing when it's finished, and hopefully they can get that done.
Oh, absolutely. Heather Williams of WCYB on Main Street Sports Day. Thank you so much for taking time. As always, we appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Always my pleasure to come on.
When we come back, we will finish up the show, maybe some Major League Baseball. Keep seeing some how do we replace the Pro Bowl options. Throw some out there for that as well. So stick around. Main Street Sports Day returns to the Lee Company studio after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Welcome back to the Lee Company studio. Chris Yao, Mopat, and final segment of Reaction Monday.
And before we go any further, I got to read this.
Read it.
Scrolling through Twitter as we are wont to do. Chris Becker at Briss Kecker 316. Breaking: Derek Mason's contract at OSU has the terms of 2 years for $1.1 million per year. The official contract is still in the works with legal per Oklahoma State. Mason would be the highest paid coordinator in OSU history. Simon Gibbs at Simon Gibbs 26. Derek Mason's $1.1 million annual salary makes him the highest paid coordinator in Oklahoma State history. Good for him, but that still means he was willing to make a $400,000 annual pay cut to get out of Auburn, which paid him $1.5 million.
Rumors circulating that Mason was throwing games at Auburn. Completely unsubstantiated, and I would be shocked to find that to be accurate. But there are folks who are out here saying this on Twitter. So tell you, man, Auburn is a mess right now. An absolute mess. Everything about Auburn is messy. Which,
clearly, everything
part of the course for them. I don't know if you saw this tweet from Vol_football about Jerome Carvin. 999 offensive snaps, 0 sacks allowed. And someone was like, dang, we couldn't get bro one more snap.
Wow.
Couldn't get it's like it maxed out at 999, those old scoreboards. If you get to 100, they didn't have the one on there.
Yeah,
it just flips to 0.
There you go. Yeah, might be just as well, because it might have been that thousandth one that ruined things.
Thoughts on replacing the Pro Bowl with the last place teams for the number 1 overall pick?
So you've already played 17 games, and you're gonna ask them to play an 18th.
Okay, we asked people that go to the Super Bowl to play 20.
Well, I mean, I kind of like the concept rather than.
I mean, you'd have to play it on Wild Card Weekend. You couldn't play it this week, right?
No, I think you would play yesterday.
I guess you could. You would have to keep the guys there for 3 extra weeks. I mean, I guess 3. Well, or see, and here's the thing. I don't want to do the 2 last place teams because tanking has obviously become a problem. I think we have a lottery and you pick 2 teams.
Out of how many?
Out of the 10. Take 10. Pick 2 teams.
And then the ones that don't get picked, they pick what? 3 through 10?
I guess in order, yeah. No. If you lose the game, then
you lose the game.
You pick 10th.
If you win the game, you pick first. If you lose the game, you pick 10th, and everybody else falls in
2
between.
through 9. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Ooh. Ooh.
You want to see some
Captain Chaos
fighting
over here? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
That would be the most intense game of football in the history of football.
Oh goodness, you're gonna fall 9 spots.
Oh, that would be so
if you
great.
lose.
That would be phenomenal.
That's not nothing.
I mean, at least 5. Maybe you put them at 5. Or maybe they just go back into the drawing. And then you draw back out
the next 9
next 9 spots. That'd be okay. I feel
that might be a little less lethal. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the idea of playing a game that actually matters the week between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, to me, that's
People
a
would
no-brainer.
watch that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd watch Detroit and
Jacksonville
with the number 1 draft pick on the line. I'd watch that. I wouldn't watch it during the regular season, but with that, yeah.
You've got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
There's no other, no other sports that are doing anything meaningful.
Yeah.
I'm in for it. And people have said this over the years, but I've never really thought it out.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes sense.
And I mean, everybody talked about the Pro Bowl being two-hand touch. Why don't you just make it flag?
Yeah, flag would be easier.
I think that would be a good solution. Make that a flag football game.
Because clearly injuries are a concern.
Sure.
I saw someone who said make it a 7-on-7 tournament where you've got 4 teams of 7-on-7
for flag.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do with the linemen?
Well, I mean, you can have 3 linemen up there, kind of like 8-man football, but not. But basically, it's basically flag. That's what you do. I think that would be phenomenal.
I think you do that and then just do a regular lottery like you do in the NBA. The teams that don't make the playoffs, and it's weighted based on your record for the number of ping pong balls. I mean,
and so you do a lottery for who plays in this?
No, just a lottery for the draft order.
Yep. To eliminate or to reduce the tanking.
Reduce, yes, the tanking. Yeah.
Tanking's got to go.
Mm-hmm. It's a real thing.
Well, it's a real thing, but it's
unless
not
you're Brian Flores, because you're winning. By God, if you can win.
But you saw the Hugh Jackson situation over the weekend, did you not?
I did.
Where he kind of clarified his comments about getting paid to lose games and said I wasn't getting paid to lose games.
But I like how Jimmy Haslam, he never took any blame for losing. Well, why should he? You ain't win before him. You didn't win after him.
So why
clearly
is it his fault?
Not him. Don't come at me. Anyway, if there was a way to get Jimmy Haslam out of all football, that I wouldn't be mad about it.
Well, at least he's out of UT football, though, right?
For now. So tanking is a problem in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I do think the NBA does a better job than anybody else. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Final thoughts of the day. Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association are not going to mediation because the Players Association said, no, just counter our offer. I don't know why we need a mediator for this. And I don't blame them, because a mediator is just going to be like, well, status quo was working. So
let's just stay with that. Yeah.
I don't blame the players at all. And it's a PR win for the players, no matter what. It's a win-win in PR wise for the players, because most fans are on the sides of the players anyway.
Most probably, but I mean, it's kind of amazing how when you've got millionaires and billionaires, the number of people that fall on the side of the billionaires.
Well, I think there are some things that the players should make concessions on, but I also think there's a lot more that the owners should make concessions on, and the owners are the ones not making concessions right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's typically the way it works.
Well, that's because they've got the money.
Mm-hmm.
Again, how many teams got kicked out of minor league baseball last year?
40-something.
Hello?
Right.
Anybody else see a correlation here?
Yep.
I mean, the West Tennessee Diamond Jacks and the Savannah Bananas featuring Freddie Freeman.
That's funny. Yeah. Something's got to happen.
Something's got to happen. And it's going to happen. I think. I don't think the owners are going to get out of this as easily as they thought they would last time. The internet changed things. In 96, if the internet had been around in the first strike in 94,
mm-hmm.
I think things would have been different the last time around. But The internet has changed things. The public perception. Anyway, let's get out of here. Come back tomorrow. Bobby Sharp will be on the show. Chip Walters should be on the show. We'll talk about all the other things going on in sports. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come back with us. Main Street Sports Today. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Mo and JP, I'm Chris Yousing. Have a great day, and we'll see you then.